Good evening. Welcome to the South Salt Lake Civilian Review Board special meeting this evening. It is the 16th of October, 2023 at 6:31 p.m. We'll start with roll call to the east, please.
Tara Shoup.
Kevin Miller.
Jason Geffer.
Zach Barnes.
And Joy Glad facilitating today. I'll open up the floor for any citizen comments. Seeing none, to let you know, we'll be back on a regular schedule for our next meeting on November 6th at 6:30 p.m. There are no action items. There's no unfinished business this time, so I would like to call for a motion for a closed meeting held pursuant to Utah Code annotated 1953 as amended, section 524204 and section 524205 1A. For the following purposes: discussion of character, professional competence, physical or mental health of an individual. Do I have a motion?
So motioned.
Second.
All in favor say
Discussion.
any discussion.
I had something to raise at this point.
Oh, okay. Please,
So what do you want to do?
the motion will hold.
Okay. In light of everything going on in the Middle East, South Salt Lake is host to 2 Muslim centers. Reached out to our police on the
Is your mic on?
website. Probably not. There we go. Okay, with the situation in the Middle East, South Salt Lake is host to 2 Muslim centers. With some of the violence that's going on around the world, I reached out to the police through our public website and have not had a response. Are our police doing anything special to provide protection to any of our citizens who might be involved? I know we don't have any Jewish centers in our community, but we do have the 2 Muslim centers. And are we doing anything special?
So I have to apologize. Those came to me and I was out of town last week. So I did get the message today, and we have been, so we have our community policing zones, which can consist of a sergeant and officers from each shift. So a day shift, afternoon, and graveyard. Each shift has 1 officer assigned to each zone around the city. And so these CPZ zones are for things like this, where we can identify maybe projects or areas in the city that might need assistance. And those officers are responsible for making contacts and working on those projects. So the sergeants, now that I have your email today, we're sending that out to the sergeants over those CPZ zones, and they're going to be reaching out to them, those centers, and offering extra patrol, seeing if they have any concerns specifically that they would like addressed, just making sure they know we're a resource. In the past, we've always had pretty good communication with those centers. They've never hesitated to reach out to us when they've had concerns. So but there will be communication moving forward. I don't know if those CPZ zone sergeants or the officers have reached out prior to this. Like I said, I was out of town, but we're going to follow up on that. So
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
Because that is a concern with what's going on in different parts of the world. We certainly don't want to hear.
absolutely.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Valerie, would you say your name for the record, please? Valerie Flatus. Was that all?
That was all.
Okay, anybody else?
Well, with thinking on that, is there a policy suggestion we could look at making so we don't have to have a civilian recommend to the city to do that, and proactively the police department does that? I mean, it's not necessarily use of force, but
I
mean, yeah, how do you guys handle it? Like, I assume you guys obviously are up to date on things. So
yeah, when there's various threats or other issues in the past, we've had open communication where we've reached out to them, or like I said, they've reached out to us. So with this specific incident, I hate to blame it on me being out of town, but I don't know if there were those conversations or not. but it's happened in the past without, and it just depends on the amount of threats. Sometimes we get threat assessments sent to us from the FBI, from other agencies. And so depending on where we get information and if we feel like there's stuff that we need to act upon, or if we recognize there's a need, then we'll definitely reach out. So it may have been in the process and I just wasn't aware. But it certainly helps having thoughtful citizens as well.
So
Well,
my
hopefully we
answer,
can have an update at our next meeting in a couple weeks.
Yeah, sure.
so my answer to your question is let's do some research
Yeah,
first.
cool. Just a thought.
Okay, we are back to a motion for closed meeting on the table. We have a first, we have a second.
Call for the question.
May we please go to adjourned meeting or to closed meeting? All in favor, say aye.
Sorry,
Aye.
for closed
Aye.
door meetings, can you do a roll call vote?
Oh, yeah, that's okay. We can start on the east, please. Valerie Flatus, aye.
Tara Shoop.
I need a yes or a no.
Yes.
Kevin Miller, yes.
Jason Keffer, yes.
Zach Bynes, yes.
Joy Glad, yes. It is 6:37 and we are in closed meeting. Welcome back. It is now 8:57. We are back in open meeting. I'd like to call for a motion to adjourn for the evening.
Motion to adjourn for the evening.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Any nays? Motion passed. It is 8:57. Have a good night, everybody.